Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my mid-November wrap-up. I have read 11 books so far this month and majority of them are audiobooks because I honestly have not had a lot of time to sit down and read this month yet. Every single weekend have been jam-packed and it doesn't look like that's going to let up anytime soon, but I'm very thankful that I've been able to read some really good audiobooks so far this month. So without further ado, let's just hop into the video. Okay, so the first books that I read are all part of the Puck Boys series by Sacklin James and Eden Finley. So the first one is that I finished this month is Shameless Playboy. This one was sort of forced proximity, forbidden kind of romance, and I really liked this one. I don't know, like I think just like the two were just such opposites, but their banter was so good that I really enjoyed myself reading this. These books are all just so much fun to read. So I gave this one 4.25 stars. And then I read Clueless Puck Boy, which is the fourth book, and I didn't like this one quite as much. I feel like there was a lot of miscommunication in this book. I still obviously loved the characters and the world that they've built in these books I just love the concept and like how they all the characters carry out through the stories. But yeah, this one just wasn't my favorite, so I gave it 3.5 stars. And then I am officially caught up on the series because I read Clueless Puck Boy, which came out in the beginning of October, I believe. This one was a romance between a trainer and one of the players, so there was definitely some like forbidden aspects, but also it was just the like let me take care of you kind of trope, and I love that. I feel like I have not read enough books that have that especially outside of fantasy romance books, so I absolutely loved that. But it still wasn't my absolute favorite of the series, so I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read was The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. This is the book that I picked for my local book club, and I did really like it. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be going into. It was super cute, witchy, like perfect for the season with being very lighthearted. It was exactly what the book was meant to be, and it was so cute and so fluffy, and I really enjoyed myself. I thoroughly enjoyed myself, so I gave it 4 stars. The next book that I read was The Trouble with Mistletoe by Jill Shalvis. This is the second book in the Heartbreak Bay series, and I didn't really like the first book in this series. I do like that it's very quirky and the characters and all of that. I decided to pick this one up because it is a Christmas romance. I thought that would translate really well into a Christmas romance, the fact that it's like quirky, nosy neighbors and all this like things, and it did, but it just wasn't like what I was expecting. I liked it, but I don't know, it's something about these books, they just feel so long for no reason. Like I feel like the same thing happened over and over and over again in this book, the same conversation, and nothing was different about it each time until it finally were like, oh, okay, let's be together. So I gave this one 2.75 stars. I did like it, it could have been so much better, in my opinion. Then I picked up Cackle by Rachel Harrison. This was a book that I was supposed to get to in my booktuber. I read my booktuber's fall recommendation books, and I really like this one. I wish I had picked it up in this video because it is super witchy and super like fun. It's not a romance, and I knew it wasn't a romance going into it, but I kept expecting something to happen with a romance, and I that's on me. So I was just like, but I did really like the message and everything like that. It was so spooky, so creepy, but also just like very lighthearted. I really liked it. I give it 4 stars. Then I read The Magnificent Life of Marjorie Post by Alison Pataki, and I did like this. I really did like this one. I thought it was really interesting to learn more about the Post family and Marjorie Post, because I learned a lot about it, and I did like that it came in a fiction setting, so that it felt like I wasn't really learning about history when I was. But there's definitely things I didn't love about the story. The ending being one, I felt like the ending, it was just very like nothing happened. It was a little rushed. I also just felt like it was kind of like patting her on the back for doing like very little. She did a lot of good, but also she like had so much money that she could have done so much more. And anyways, it was like good. It was very well written, everything like that. So I gave it 4 stars. Okay, and then I read Ace of Spades by Fruta Abika Imade. I thought this was so good. I'm so mad at myself for putting this off for so long. It's so good. I do wish that it was not in a YA setting. I feel like I would have and just like connected to the characters more and enjoyed it a little more if it wasn't a high school book. And I also just don't think it would have taken away from the story if it wasn't a high school book. But I thought this was so well done. The message was so well woven into like a gripping story that I don't know, I just like absolutely loved it. All the hype that this book gets is definitely worth it, and I really wish I had picked it up sooner. So I gave this one 4.5 stars. Then I read Stay For Me, which is the last book in the Arrowwood series by Corinne Michaels. This book had a lot of potential for me because it has some of my favorite tropes, which is like, it has like single mom, small town, like I just feel like a lot more could have been done with this book, and it got really slow for me. I took so long to read this book just because I was just not getting into it, but I did think the ending was cute. Everything I did like about the book. It's just that I feel like it could have been so much more. So I gave it 3.25 stars. Then I read Trick Shot by Kayla Gross. This is a like Christmas spicy novella. This is exactly what I was expecting it would be going into it, except I feel like there was the ending, like there was just a bit too much crammed into the ending that it just was not necessary for a spicy Christmas novella. Like it didn't need to be there. It just felt really unnecessary, the ending. But the spice is very spicy. It is a why choose ending. So, I mean, it was still really good. It was exactly what I was expecting when I picked it up. So I give it 3.25 stars. Okay, and last but not least, I read Love Redesign by Laura and Asher. This is the first book in her new Lakefront Billionaire series, and I loved this book. I listened to this all on audio, and in comparison to the Dreamland Billionaire series, like this is such a great start to the series. Like I did really like the fine print, but this book is on another level. It is so well done. The banter is so good. It's so cute. A bit of a friends to like enemies to lovers story, and I don't usually like friends to lovers, but I loved this. I loved their connection so much, and just Julian was such a sweet guy. I don't know. I don't know how I don't want to rant on it for too long, but if for some reason you have not picked this book up, I really recommend it. It's so good. I am definitely need to go back to the rest of Lauren Asher's books because her writing has improved so much, and I'd really like to go back to her backlist and see the other like stories that she has written, because I am now, like after this book, I'm a Lauren Asher stan. I will say that I found the beginning just a little bit slow to get into, just a little bit. So I give it 4.75 stars. I really, really liked it. Okay, and those are the 11 books that I've read so far this month. Leave in the comments down below what your favorite book that you've read so far is. I'd love to chat. Subscribe if you're not already, and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.